Hello. Okay. So some people have asked me to fix the VAM macro, not the VAM macro, sorry, the wall macro. I just read my DMs. Yeah, the wall macro. Because the choice rifle's ability changes broke it, and also it's kind of unoptimized. So I spent some time and I rewrote it, and I'll show you what it looks like now while we're loading in. So the old one was like, it was like 1400 lines of code, very long, very unwieldy, lots of like shoot commands and stuff. So I started using arrays, which is like cool, right? Arrays and like loops, which is pretty nice. Everything else is pretty much the same. I mean, it still supports resolution scaling. It still has recoil that you can customize. Increase this value if your crosshair is. I'm gonna skip this. Stop talking. Okay. So you can increase this value if you need your crosshair to go down more while the div is shooting, and you can decrease it if you need it to go up more. The sensitivity scaler, I would leave this alone. I now have sensitivity adjustment built into the macro. So if you go ahead and let's run, one of the versions of the macro. If I press F3, you can see 15 is change sensitivity, which is really cool. So now you can change the sensitivity in the macro itself, and it stores it in a file called wall_sends.txt, and it just stores it there so that you don't have to enter it every time you want to change your sensitivity. It should store that for you, which is good. And I also now have two versions of the macro, one for people with who have lower frames while they're inputting the wish, because previously this macro is designed to be very fast. It only works well if you have, I believe it's like 200, maybe 150, 200 frames. So if you have like 60 frames, I tested this on 60 frames, it should work. It's quite a bit slower, but at least it'll work. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, the other change is that you need to stand. I'll show you where you need to stand. So same as usual, I'm sure you guys know how to get to the wall. Yeah, so instead of standing like in the middle of the plate like you used to, you're gonna stand right behind the plate. So right when it like turns off, pretty much you want your crosshair to be like looking somewhere here when you look straight down, right? So I don't know, somewhere right about here, maybe like a little bit back. Yeah, right here is good. And then F3, and then let's do I don't know, Shuro seems to be a popular request, of course, so let's try Shuro. This is the slow version of the macro, right? Pretty slow. I might frame cap off right now, and I'm going to do, you guys can see my homework in the backgrounds. Oh, I don't actually have my macro folder open. Yeah, let me just go to macros, and we'll do wall fast, and I'll show you guys what the fast one looks like. Yeah, so Shuro in particular is a pretty long wish, so there's some crosshair drift that you can expect during the Shuro wish, and it accounts for that, so don't worry about that. The other wishes shouldn't really have too much deviance, so yeah. Yeah, and this is about as fast as I could reasonably get the macro to perform without having consistency issues. So during the reload, it kind of readjusts the crosshair a little bit. And you can see it's like slowly drifting up a little bit, but that really only happens in the Shuro macro. Yep. So that is that. Pretty straightforward there. I don't really think there's much else to say. Yeah. I mean, if you guys have any questions, let me know. It's a pretty straightforward macro. Again, you can change the speed of the macro if you want. You can change the recoil amounts. Sensitivity is baked into the menu now, and it saves it by itself, so you don't need to go into the file. It should be pretty easy for everyone, and that just matches your in-game sends, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as usual, links are in the description. The drive link is there, and I'm not gonna include a new read doc because it's pretty obvious what you need to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it.